Hello and happy Sunday to everyone. I hope that you are enjoying this little cold streak, especially here in Georgia because it's not blistering hot today. But it's the last Sunday of August, and I really wanted to kind of motivate you on some things. Once again, Gen Xers are the topic of the subject about how we've failed as parents and we don't show up as grandparents and blah, 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 blah. One of the things that, as I was writing in my new book, or writing the manuscript for the new book, that I shared is I didn't understand empathy until I chose to understand my mother's story. And I won't give the book away at this point, but I can tell you that my mother made a statement to me, I guess in my 30s, where she said, I didn't want you. And it blew a hole in my heart. But then I had to ask why. Oftentimes, you're sitting behind a place of judgment and you don't have the history of the why. I know that there is this concept of we need to be like grandmama and them and all of that kind of stuff, but I'll be real honest. My grandmother didn't babysit. My mother didn't babysit except for when she had a daycare in my home, right? And so that was her way until she decided she wanted to go back into work, and she kept kids in the neighborhood and things of that nature. But it was not a mandate for her to keep my kids because she didn't lay down and have them. But once I understood my mother's story, I could find grace. One of the things that's lacking right now is several things. You're not understanding somebody else's story. You're only going on your perception and making it a reality. You're throwing stones in delivery from a position of thinking you're entitled to determine or define somebody else's life, and you're not. And lastly, you act as if someone owes you. When you begin to understand somebody else's story, and I get it, I get that you have needs that you want for your life. I get the importance of wanting to have a sense of belonging and things of the nature. But for some of the people that I'm seeing complaining on social media and really down talking Gen X's, I honestly see why your folks don't show up for you because your attitude and your delivery is bad. Yeah, y'all might try to come for me in my comments and things like that, and it's cool. I just need to remind you, I am true Gen X, and in my social media, I'm not the therapist. I will get with you, not even a threat, but a commitment and a promise. Because one thing I don't do is disrespect. I believe that we can all have a respectful conversation, gain some insight and understanding about situations, and then move on about our business. But when you become disrespectful, that's on a whole different level for me. So some people may tolerate it. I kind of don't, especially on my social media page. But back to the message at hand. The message is, before you become so hard on other people, I encourage you to understand their why. Now, if your parent is a narcissist, a manipulator of emotions and things of that nature, where you feel bad after having a conversation with them, not so much. You may not want to have that conversation about really understanding the why, but you may want to ask other family members what that person's childhood was like or the situations that may have pushed them over the edge. But if you're willing to have a conversation to really understand the reasons behind some people's actions or inactions, and you remove your perception out of the way so that you can honestly hear, you might walk away with a different type of relationship. You may walk away with a dual relationship of respect. You have to decide how this is going to work out for you. You have to decide how you can really put yourself in a position to hear and understand others. Don't get me wrong. I recognize that as we mature and go through life, like Gen Xers, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place right now because we're still actively employed. We're still trying to be as present in our children and grandchildren's lives as well as our parents, if you still have them. And we're still having to, you know, have a life for ourselves. We're not ready for a rocking chair or a front porch just yet, right? And so when you understand that and you understand us not even having a childhood for the most part because we had to learn responsibility very early, which we didn't force on you all. When you understand a lot of background about people, you change how you look at things. You change your process on how you move. Here's the biggest key and takeaway for today: be careful how you deliver, because if you're delivering a message that is attacking and aggressive, you're going to get the results from an attacking and aggressive conversation. So just be mindful. I hope this helps free some people. I hope this actually helps push you all to engage in proper conversation about your needs, your wants. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you sat down and you asked your parent about them? Probably you haven't, because you feel like you're the child and you don't need to. But your parents were children at one point and they do have a story. Take a few moments. They know part of your story. You probably don't know any of theirs as this loud plane goes by. Take a few moments and really try to understand and have an open conversation with your parent. You'll be surprised at what their responses can be. Y'all be good. It's Sunday. Free your mind, restoration, rejuvenation, and enjoy this last Sunday of August 2023. It's Virgo season, so y'all be ready to be sick of me in the next few days. Take good care.